beer.
Go get a beer.
I'm gonna go get a beer.
Go get a beard. Go grow a beard. Now, I don't want to see you back here until you've grown a beard.
Welcome to the Fear Fiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Let's hear this great cold open, you said.
Oh, it's not great, but it's just...
Oh, boo-hoo, I'm Abysmii. My cold open isn't that great. Boo-hoo. Career victim Abysmii.
So...
Boo-hoo, I'm 3D Abysmii.
3D?
Gee, since when?
Since when is he 3D? He's always been 4D. He's a four-dimensional alien being.
What was the name of that character? Was it Melvin?
Yes.
3D Melvin? Yeah.
Sure.
The fuck are you talking about?
From fucking...
Oh, 3D Squelton.
3D Melvin.
Squelton, yeah.
From Smiling Friends.
Oh, yeah. No, not
Oh,
Melvin.
boo-hoo, 3D Squelton is so upset. So, cold open, go.
Oh, no, that was it.
What the fuck?
I was just going to get you to talk about Smiling Friends.
Your cold open was DP bringing up 3D Squelton.
Pretty genius.
Listen, I've heard of some esoteric cold opens.
No, so Slimebeast got me addicted to GTA
Sucks.
RP streamers.
Oh, yeah.
And then promptly was never able to stream again. And makes me sad, but, still addicted. So I was watching one of them. And today,
Yes.
Adidas has created its own GTA RP server to hold stock, rally car races.
Yes.
Populated exclusively by big GTA RP streamers.
Right. And
This is the fashion brand Adidas.
Yes.
yeah. And when we say big GTA streamers, we mean streamers who don't matter anywhere else except GTA
Yeah.
RP.
Yeah, no, no pixel streamers. And the biggest one was definitely Penta, because I think he was the only one with over 1,000, and he had 10,000.
Yeah,
so.
and he was cheating and doing a bunch of crazy stupid shit and just fucking the whole thing up, but it's he's the biggest one, what are you gonna do? And that's the whole point.
It was
why
just
he's doing it.
It was a fascinating watch, because this all sounds very kind of just arcane and stupid, yes, but I was thinking about this going, so a clothing brand has created a server for a video game to pay people to role play as if they're in a virtual race, like a stock car, rally car race or whatever.
A virtual race, which you can change as opposed to your real life race, where you get in trouble if you try and change that race.
That's right. Well, it depends which way you go.
And the entire time, these streamers are taking back everything they're saying in character because they can't talk about drugs and sex, because you still have to keep all this shit PG-13 or something. It was just, but at the same time, they're oh, I don't fucking care. I got paid a few $1,000s to show up here, whatever.
Right.
It's just it was a surreal ass moment. I'm this is how companies are trying to get eyes on their products. And this is the most batshit crazy way to do it.
It's funny too, because Penta is a real edgelord streamer.
Yeah.
And they put him in a car with this other streamer called Hobbit Trash, who's a female streamer who is always going way over the line in things she says and so on and so forth. And the two of them riding around is funny because they're on walkie-talkies, talking to their mechanic or some shit, I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's screaming and getting mad, in character. He's being yelling and screaming and carrying on and cursing. And she will pipe up on the radio and just go, "He's gonna hit me!"
And they're getting live updates via in-game emails from the organizers. Are saying don't talk about that, keep it clean, don't do this, over and over again.
He's gonna hit me.
And I'm just thinking, what did they expect was going to happen when they hired people to do this?
And then he's you make me do it. You make me do it. So stupid.
And the best part, though, is their mechanic was fucking Fingal Dan, who was played by... And I actually kind of like that streamer and warming up to him, because he just plays, like, people who fail upwards, and it's really adorable. But he's the mechanic, and when he brings out the car, just this white, like, rally car or something, he says, yeah, and this is one of my favorite cars to engineer, the white rally car.
Like, you can't say that. Wait, what?
This is like minute 1 of the sponsored event for Adidas. They're like, you can't say that. And it's already a clip on fucking Twitch. It's so fucking funny.
DP, what's your opinion of white rally cars?
I love white rally cars, getting them together, getting, your white rally car, my white rally car. We get our white rally cars together and go to the white rally.
Yeah, and talk about a way to impress a crowd. Your white rally car.
Yep.
God damn it.
You know what?
Way to leave an impression on the crowd.
I would go over. I would put tiki torches on the edges of the white rally car.
Yeah.
A spoiler, but it's lined with tiki torches. The paint job is made up. It's a white rally car, but it's got on khaki pants, like on the back end.
This makes no sense, because if you tried to actually like drift in a rally car, your tiki torch would go out.
Yeah.
So this is a problem white supremacists haven't figured out how to solve yet.
Right.
All of those Korean drifting rally car white supremacists.
I like how DP literally just said on this podcast, this is the only problem that white nationalists haven't figured out.
Yeah, I mean,
they're right about everything else, as DP.
Well, another big problem is, when you're wearing the white hood, which is your uniform in the car, like, it's hard to see. It cuts off your peripheral vision pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what they don't tell you. Like in NASCAR, a lot of the times they have like a spotter. So, they're in the car themselves. They don't really have a whole lot of vision, not like you would think. They have somebody telling them to go left and right. They can see very little. So all I'm saying is there's nothing holding you back from wearing a Klan hood if you are a race car driver.
If you're a racist, yeah.
Yeah. Like
if you're a racist.
What was it, Keith Klansman? Was that our character?
Keith Klansman, yeah. Let's bring back Keith Klansman.
Why wasn't he a character in the rally? I don't know what the fuck. In the race.
No.
The GTA RP thing is so frustrating to me, because it's just like there is so much potential there for fun, interesting things. I don't understand why it's bottlenecked so much, and it really does seem like everything around NoPixel has been made to lift up higher creators and gatekeep as much as possible.
Well, and that's one of the reasons that Penta is just the one biggest standout, is because he's the only one that can get away with remotely creative rule-breaking things. And it's just like, yeah, you watch him and go, everyone should be allowed to be this creative and kind of off the rails, because this would be interesting.
Right.
Could we, hear me out, get everybody who is a moderator on No Sleep or on SCP Foundation. Let's get everybody who's a moderator on the SCP Foundation who just lets anything fucking fly, and get the NoPixel people who say no fun allowed and swap them out. Just get the batshit like whatever Steven Universe satellite.
God damn it.
Let's get those people at NoPixel, and the NoPixel people actually start moderating SCP.
It's very interesting because, like you said, there's so much potential for GTA RP, and our audience is all left at this point, but there's so much potential for improv within a video game setting, live-streamed improv, but yet everything just comes back to fucking car racing and shootouts. Like, the thing you can do on any fucking video game.
Growing weed. Where to sell weed. Who got arrested for weed. You're in jail for weed.
It's all just racing and shooting and criming. And there is so much potential for so much more. But the thing is, too, that what you had, like, just a few years ago, you had nobody that was a big GTA RP streamer. Nobody. There was nothing. Nobody really knew much about it. It was kind of niche, so on and so forth. Then you had a group of people who, through being, poggers, characters on a server that, were good at shooting, good at driving, good at criming, they became the big people, the large streamers. And so from that point forward, those people became friends with the staff, friends with the people running the servers, different things like that. And so what happens is the big streamers get everything, anything that they want is done. Anything is given to them. Anything is added to the server that they want. Meanwhile, anybody who comes close to reaching that level gets pushed back because they don't want anybody usurping. Now, Penta, I feel personally, Penta is somebody who got hosted by a few large streamers who came to role-playing later. People who came to it when it was already popular, like Moon and, different people like that. So he got hosted by those people and he got his audience boosted, but yet he's one of those people where they're like, you're not one of the big guys that we're friends with. You're not allowed, so he's able to push that line and everything, but he also will get smacked back suddenly and inexplicably, where they're like, hey, you're not allowed, you're not one of the big boys, even though he's gotten his views up and everything.
So that's why they're adding heroin when there's a billion other things they could add that would be more interesting, or just
they literally don't know how to think of anything other than racing and crime. Legitimately,
it's that cyclical logic they probably have locked in their head. People only come here for racing and drugs. Well, that's because that's all you add. Yeah, right. But that's what they wanted. Well, that's just what you see. That's it. I remember there's one Penta stream where he's playing Wrangler and he finds out there's a voodoo doll being made of him, and Wrangler is a 1/16 Apache
amazing
white asshole who's oh yeah, no, voodoo's real. No, all this is real. He's intentionally playing an asshole. So he goes to the fabricator's house and does a voodoo ritual after consulting a voodoo priest and does all this shit, and then she reports a break-in and he comes to the scene of the crime and says, oh yeah, no, weird shit happening here. He's the only one that can do that. No one else is doing that shit. Everyone else is just running drugs.
Right.
It's boring.
It's frustrating because I would watch bits and pieces here and there, and Slimebeast would just go up to people and say hey, here's a wacky thing, and the person would just be like, no.
Yeah. How do you make money? What are you talking? How do you make money off that? What are you talking about?
It's so fucking annoying and frustrating because there's so many games out there for accruing wealth and shooting people and race. It's the whole point is that you get all of these other things along with it. And I think if the stuff was run well, there would be guidelines of how to role play well. Mm-hmm. Have none of these people ever done tabletop role playing of just going along with something?
That's
likely
the funny
not.
Thing. There are rules. It's just no one.
Rules aren't enough. There needs to be best practices as well.
Well, there needs to be encouragement to do it, but there is none. It's you want to be a grinder and just make money in a. It's if you want. That's what I don't get. If you want to shoot people and have car races, just play GTA.
Yeah.
Why are you on an RP server to do that?
Just to give you an idea, there is we're talking about rules and everything. There is a delivery service in the game. And with the delivery service, what you do is you sign up to deliver packages, you drive to the location you're told to, and you deliver the package to a NPC, shop. No interaction, no roleplay. You're just driving back and forth and earning money, either alone or with, I think it's you do it in teams of 2 or something, so it's you and someone else, probably, not even talking and just driving back and forth.
Holy shit.
The thing is, a lot of people, or some people, certain people, were robbing these drivers. Because they're, going back and forth and making money, it's an obvious, thing to hit. So people would stop them, and usually what these drivers would do is they would act unrealistically, they wouldn't value their lives. They would, somebody would pull a gun and they would just go running away, or, try to drive away with a gun to their head, that type of thing. So they would get shot, So the new rule that came out of that was, don't rob the drivers. So that's don't try to accost the drivers with RP. Let them just go about making their money.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Don't do that role playing stuff.
Yeah.
Don't fix the incentive system.
But yeah, it's really disheartening when you. Because, I'm like an idea shotgun in terms of, just spraying out a bunch of shit and seeing what's good or what isn't. So, I would make, an item in the game, a skeleton key. And I would say, the skeleton key, if you purchase the skeleton key, you can, do X, Y, and Z. And I'm charging, a pittance for it. I'm charging, a little tiny bit of money. And, it could open anything. You could say that, the skeleton key is how you got into any location you're not supposed to be in, blah, blah, blah. So it's a role-playing tool. It's a tool you can have in your hand in the game to role-play scenarios or settings or, scenes or whatever. And people would just be like, so it opens any door? And I'd be like, well, you could use it to say it opened a door, that you got into. And they're like, but does it really do anything? And I'm like, you could say that it does things. Like, I'm trying not to say you can role play. You can pretend and role play, and they're like, but does it really unlock it? Fucking Jesus Christ.
That's the annoying thing. Like, the server can't decide if it's, like, staying true to its mechanics or if RP is more important.
Yeah.
Like, it really cannot strike a decent balance. Sorry, it could. It chooses not to.
And, it's a big thing where you don't want to be one of these people who's like, well, geez, the big streamers and their friends get everything. And it's like, well, that's a common...
Sure.
Complaint like anybody would have if they're just some literally who, person. But the thing is, they recently got rid of, like, an entire thing that was crucial to my, stuff I was doing and crucial to what a lot of people were doing, which was, like, a market where people could sell items. They got rid of that completely for a new update, and they haven't put the new update in, so they just got rid of the whole thing.
Oh no!
And the new update isn't available.
They scrapped Dean's World, and they still haven't implemented its replacement.
Yeah, they haven't implemented the replacement, but they scrapped the thing everybody was using. But the thing is, the big players, the big streamers, weren't using it, so who cares?
Half the server was there every day.
Yeah. And it's just ridiculous. There's no competition now for the big streamers and their restaurants that they've had built into the city and everything.
Oh my god! Like, where are people supposed to meet?
I don't know. What does it matter? You're not supposed to just go buy something from a big store and leave. What the fuck?
Go travel with the car you can't afford to all these disparate places on this gigantic fucking map that cannot possibly, be filled by the tiny amount of people that can be on it at any given time.
Go spend 3 to 4 hours grinding for money, not talking to anybody, and then spend that money at the big businesses owned by the streamers. Fuck you.
What is the name of that of their Uber service?
Which Uber service?
Like a taxi service.
I think it's taxi.
There's like Abdul's taxis. Is that what you mean?
I don't know. Anyway, I every time I've seen somebody like use the taxi service, it's just like, okay, I want to get into the car, and it's just like, play a character, and then the taxi driver is just like, I'm a taxi driver, I don't want to talk.
Well, that's realistic.
Yeah.
It's weird though, because whenever you were getting in taxis, and like no matter the character, they were always pretty talkative. And
I very rarely use taxis though, so it's like,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Every time I like had to play a taxi character, I would just be obnoxious because you're just trapped. What are you going to do? Get out and just be like, yeah. So you could just do that as like, hey guys, do you play World of Warcraft?
Dagon the taxi driver.
Oh god damn it!
All right, so what are we reading?
Who cares?
It's only been 20 minutes. It's not our longest cold open. I think our longest has been like 40.
Oh man, I wonder what. I wonder if we could actually track that. It'd be funny.
Somebody will tell us.
Tell us in the comments what our longest cold open was.
Today we're going to be reading Buzz Off and Itsy Bitsy. Both are written by Phantom Necromancer.
And they're both apparently insect themed.
Yeah.
Hey. This is an author in our community. What?
Spiders aren't insects, but go ahead.
Well, actually,
spiders aren't insects. Snake too long.
God damn it!
Snake too long. Spiders aren't insects. But
listen, that's a cold open for a different time. Sorry again. Sorry again.
Spiders aren't insects. I don't know if you know that. It's a pretty common mistake to make. But
guys,
you're trapped in this taxi with me.
Guys, do you think spiders represent Antifa?
Nope.
No, they represent Freemason.
Hey, nothing I've said is wrong. Oh, God. All right, anyway, that's a cold open for
Buzz Off.
Buzz Off.
Exterminator, the strange man said, standing outside my apartment. I didn't call for one, I said. Well, if no one called, then why am I here? The man said in a dry, raspy voice. I did that wrong. Well, if no one called, then why? I can't do a dry, raspy voice.
If no one called, then why am I here, boy? Tim Curry, what the fuck?
Sugar.
I think my voice is just too bassy and baritone-y and just gets people wet. So dry and raspy is just out of my range.
Plus, you're never not drinking, so second.
There's that. When did it become that I'm the alcoholic instead of Abysmii?
You don't even remember when you started drinking. Jesus Christ!
Because I was gone for a month.
There's that. Yeah, there's that.
Our audience doesn't have a lot of object permanence, so like if I'm not on mic drinking, then they're like, "Where'd Abysmii go? I wonder what he's up to. Is he drinking?"
Are you comparing them to infants? What the fuck?
The amount that Abysmii drinks makes my drinking look acceptable, and then he leaves, and everybody's like, "Is Dead Pallet an alcoholic?"
Mm-hmm. Could be.
He wore a gray jumpsuit with a black leather apron with rubber gloves and boots to match. The apron had "Buzz Off" written on it. Most notably was his mask. He wore a strange red gas mask. I couldn't see his eyes through those yellow lenses.
I wish exterminators dressed up like that.
That is the exterminator drip, but realistically,
it's too unrealistic. No. It's unrealistic, and I don't believe it. And the story is bad. Also, I don't think it's a mask.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
I just wish so bad that that was... Because they would never waste money on that, like, why would they? But that would be so cool if they actually looked like, it's this gas-masked ant demon killer. It's awesome.
That sounds like a video game concept. In a world. Yeah. That's it, in a world.
Nobody foot in a world.
Yeah. Waiting for him to finish.
That would be interesting if there was like a romantic comedy or something and it was just like, in a world. And then the characters just start interacting.
Two people develop a relationship.
Right. So who is it now?
Hijinks ensue. That's me.
We wonder if they will or if they won't.
Bum, bum, bum.
Coming to theaters. Will they, won't they?
I think I will.
I think I won't.
I think I will.
The hit sequel this summer. 2 will, 2 won't. 4
we
people.
Joke, but that's where rom-coms are going to go eventually. They're just going to run out, and they're just going to give up on anything clever.
I think there should be a romantic comedy that's like actually a slasher movie. Like Mr. Lonely, coming to the Creepypasta YouTube channel soon.
I cannot remember the last time I saw a rom-com.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because we're all adult men.
Hot Fuzz?
We don't want rom-coms.
Rom-coms
Hot Fuzz?
Yeah.
How is Hot Fuzz a rom-com?
Think about it.
Okay, yeah, I see your point.
Yes, it is. Okay. Who are you? I asked. The name's Roach, the man replied. Now move out of my way.
Oh, the Raider is so terrible they forgot that the name should be Ant. God damn.
God damn it. Come on, Phantom Necromancer.
That is kind of ridiculous, the idea of an exterminator named Roach. I mean, like, who does that? Did the author really not consider that that's kind of a contradiction? They must be fucking idiot.
Think of all the people you've ever met. How many of them were named Roach? Can't have that in the story.
And then you put the irony on top that they are themselves an exterminator.
Creative writing?
Gross. Why not just... Okay, guys. Guys, let's fix this story, okay?
Yes.
First of all, he's not an exterminator. He's a college professor. Second of all, he believes everything I believe. Third, his name is Gary, okay?
This is a lot more reasonable. I like Gary because it's not creative, it's boring, and it fits in with my preconceived notions of what reality is where people are named Gary. So this works for me.
I've seen professors on TV. I can believe that. That's a thing you see.
Up next on Professors.
On TV. Roach then shoved me to the side and entered my apartment before I could do anything. He moved around the place, pushing and knocking over anything that got in his way.
Guys.
Awesome.
Guys, I'm picking up some heavy undertones of like The Other invading your space.
Uh-oh.
The others, they're all dressed up like...
Uh-oh. Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like we, the narrator in this story, are the thing to be exterminated.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Is this Franz Kafka's Metamorphosis?
Yes. What the hell do you think you're doing?
Is King Mob replacing Abysmii?
Yes. After that cold open, yes. What What the hell do you think you're doing? I said, okay, so here's the thing. If we had King Mob here, he would be relating what happened to GTA RP, but it would be what he had experienced.
I thought you were going to say...
And then this hand comes reaching out of the screen.
I thought you were going to say that he's relating to the time an exterminator busted in through his door and just started trashing his house.
So this exterminator comes up and starts pissing on my wall.
I would believe him if he said it.
It's true. What the hell do you think you're doing? I said, reasonably pissed, at the situation. Looking, Roach simply responded. For what? I asked. He's an exterminator. How could you not get it? Roach suddenly stopped and turned to look at me. I'm looking for vermin.
Oh, yeah. Oh, vermin. Calling the protag vermin.
Uh-oh.
Verminvore? Reasonably pissed here for Verminvore.
No, Verminvore here for a pest control service that you wouldn't expect. Invite me over. Num, num, num.
Oh, Verminvore. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Get out of the
He's just
out.
like, he's oiling himself up and he says, time to get in those walls. Like, get in the walls? Yep.
Yep, deep in them.
Oh my god. Get the hell out, I shouted, tired of whatever the fuck was going on. I was going away, Roach said, walking past me. I was going anyway, Roach said, walking past me. He left and started pulling the same shit to the next person next door. There we go. I was going to say next door person, which is a good way.
The next door person. God, can you keep it down over there, please?
That's how Brandon greets his neighbors. Hi, I'm the next door person.
No,
he's wearing a black suit.
That's how I call them. No, if they knock on my door, that's what I call them, next door person. And so on and so on. Then, oh no, I misread that. Then soon and soon.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. After he was done harassing everyone, he simply entered the van that had the same "buzz off" written on its side and drove off. The rest of the day was pretty normal, though the thought of that man didn't leave my head.
The next morning, I woke up with this tingling feeling. I didn't think much about it at first, but when I lifted my hand to rub my eyes into focus, ants everywhere, all over my bed. I jumped and looked in horror at the writhing mass covering my sheets.
Ants, all that I see, all around me. Okay, continue.
Ants in my eyes, Johnson.
God damn it.
Absolute anthropod. Suddenly I heard screams from the other apartments. It turned out I wasn't the only one with a bug problem.
I grabbed a can of Febreze. I grabbed a can of Axe body spray. I grabbed a can of Febreze and just started spraying everywhere, covering my mouth while doing so. I wanted these vile things dead. Uh-oh. But they just wouldn't stop crawling everywhere, across my open border floor plan. Oh, no.
In my sheets.
These ants, they won't go away.
God damn it. Then Verminvore came to the door and said, I eat ants. For everyone, For every
it should be
one,
every space one. Yeah.
For every one I killed, 10 more took their place. Okay.
Everybody.
So DP.
Yeah. Use Febreze.
Yeah.
God, that's the worst commercial.
Could you see that though? They're just
Dude, it's better than current Febreze commercials.
They're like spraying it and it's going psh, 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 instead of All right, so DP, why were you late to the recording session tonight?
I was going to grab a beer.
No, read the next line. Why were you late? Read the first 4 words.
I was too busy spraying that I didn't notice Roach. You walk through the halls, sprayer in hand, shooting a neon green looking gas from it. More ants followed. Can you use Febreze to de-ant your house?
No, I think it would just make it more attractive to ants.
Yeah, ants love Febreze.
Yeah.
I know my aunt does.
Aunt Febreze.
Aunt Febreze. The new album from Aunt Febreze. What? It's just some dude in like a gingham dress and like curlers. Yo, what up? I'm Aunt Febreze.
Has like a really ratty purse filled up with mothballs.
Yeah, getting high on them M-balls. I don't know, what would you call mothballs? Getting high on moth, y'all.
Hey, it's your boy, Febrizion, a.k.a. M-Balls, a.k.a.
Big Breeze.
Oh, God. All right.
No, Oster, I was high on moth, not meth. Moth.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Just casually pops mothball into mouth while Koth is looking at you.
Crunch.
That would be a great way to fuck with people. Like,
yeah, until you die.
I heard coughing and wheezing laughter. Whatever the gas was, it was filling up the place. I started coughing too. The ants were crawling out of every crack and hole they could. It looked endless. The gas was rising, and Roach's laughter was getting closer.
Then the ants and the insects became coming out of my penis.
Mm-hmm.
And my butthole.
Mm-hmm.
My butt crack.
Mm-hmm. My neck, my back, my ant hole, and my crack. I fell to the floor. I fell to the floor. I started coughing violently. It felt like my insides were burning. I looked up to see a familiar mask. Roach aimed the sprayer at my face. Ants were crawling all over him. He let out a wheezing laugh.
I love my job.
That's what he said.
I eat ants.
I exterminate white people.
God damn it.
I'm for this story.
I like it a lot.
It's very reminiscent of my story, Call Me Buzz, about a exterminator with a bug head who comes in and sprays a bunch of gas around and brings in giant insects.
Oilers.
Was that a thing you wrote?
Yes.
Oilers.
I'm sure it's coincidental.
I haven't read that one for the narration channel yet.
I'm watching you, Phantom Necromancer. What are you necromancing? Like other people's stories? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh. Well, that would imply that your story was dead, and he actually brought it back to life.
Well, I mean, technically.
Did you a favor.
Yeah.
People have free reign to plagiarize any of my stories. That's cool.
Oh, cool. All right, check out my channel. We're going to have monetized plagiarizations of DP's stories.
You could, hey, if you plagiarize it and make it your own, then I'm fine with that.
What if there was a woman who crushed pumpkins with her thighs?
You know what? We do need a cinematic universe, or I guess a literary universe of women just crushing large fruit with their thighs. I'm okay with that.
FCTCU? Fruit crushing thigh cinematic universe?
Can you define in this scenario what a fruit is? Would that be sugar and a fiber matrix, or is there another definition that you had in mind?
Use sugar with a fiber matrix.
Okay.
No, I like this a lot. It feels almost like keyhole fiction because it's rather brief. But again, that's a good thing. The only thing I would change, and it honestly doesn't even need to happen, would be it's just it's kind of like and then the protag died because ants. Literally impossible amount of ants.
Yeah, just have them become a giant ant. Easy.
See, that's a good SCP code name right there. An impossible amount of ants.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like it. But I would maybe tweak it to being I said no to the exterminator, but my next door neighbor didn't. They just said, oh yeah, maybe I did, and I just forgot. And then the next day, their house is crawling with ants, and they're starting to come through my walls too.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Other than that, I love the description of what Roach looks like. Just a wonderful, wonderful little idea.
Yeah. And he is doing the Lord's work, because as we all know, humanity is a scourge upon the face of the earth, and needs to be eradicated. Wait, am I the only one on that? Wait.
Oh no, the Misanthrope's been outed.
Nothing I said was wrong.
Rather brief here for Nut Chafer underwear.
Nut Chafer here for rather brief underwear.
Nut Chafer here. Why does everyone want me to leave?
God damn it.
I do like reasonably pissed. That is.
Oh yeah, as opposed to unreasonably.
That's something you tell the cop. I'm reasonably drunk. Fuck you. I'm completely reasonable.
Can we get a T-shirt, by the way, that says "Nothing I say is wrong"?
This is what I'm
very
imagining.
easy.
It's pretty
you get
strong.
Pulled over by the cop. You've been drinking, and he's just like, "How many drinks have you had?" And you're just like, "I haven't had any, officer. I've just been enjoying the delightful tang of mothballs." Pops mothballing into your mouth. Because at that point, yeah, he could breathalyze you, but do you know explicitly what the effects on your body are if you eat mothballs?
Well, will a mothball, if you consume mothballs, will that fool the breathalyzer?
If you consume mothballs, will the moth be pleased or angry?
We'll have to ask Mothman.
By the way, do you think that, like, when the cop pulls the guy over and he's eating mothballs, the officer says, "Sir, I think you're addicted"?
So then the cop is just like, "So you don't put anything on the mothballs?
You just eat them raw? Really? No,
just raw moth?
Yeah.
No ketchup?
I'm raw mothing it.
Rothing it.
Moth rawling it, or Mothra for short.
Okay, let's get off of wordplay of mothballs and get on to the next story.
Itsy Bitsy.
I think this would be a story about spiders.
I think it's about a bikini.
Itsy Bitsy Titsy Comitsy. Spiders were something that I never...
Titsy Comitsy here.
I'm going to commit my tits to this situation.
God damn it.
Even as a kid, they never fazed me.
If the tit won't commit, you must acquit.
Mm-hmm.
Same as most creepy crawlies. If anything, I loved bugs then, still do now. It's hard to say where the love came from. Might have been from cartoons.
Oh, yeah.
Might have been from my parents who were bugs and they raised me.
God damn it. My father, Roach, was an exterminator.
And my mom, Bugs Bunny, also raised me.
My mom, Bugs Bunny, who was always wearing a red dress and eyeshadow. Always cheating with that hunter. Sorry, again.
I'm going to pack you a lunch, son. Here's a bunch of mothballs in a brown plastic sandwich bag.
And a single carrot.
Though I don't blame you if you hate them. Arachnophobia might be one of the most common phobias in the world. My town has a strange list of rules regarding spiders. Mm-hmm. But in all sincerity, my town has my town might have the biggest case of arachnophobia, though. See, this is where they shot Eight-Legged Freaks.
Oh,
it was a documentary.
Yeah, they plus the production crew basically pillaged and looted the entire town on their way through. Stupid.
Is that true?
No. That's why they have a version to the movie. Fuck. What's the guy's name? David Duchovny? No. Billy Madison? What's the guy?
Billy Madison?
Yeah, what's the lead guy?
You just imagine Adam Sandler being like, "I'm tired of these eight-legged freaks on this motherfucking town."
There's spiders everywhere. Oh.
Stop looking at me, spiders.
God damn it.
That's because of the town's local legend, Itsy Bitsy. Itsy Bitsy was, according to those who claim to have seen it, an 8-foot humanoid spider-like creature that lived deep into the woods.
We are not fucking around.
No, fuck you. 8-foot. Humanoid.
It had a 3-meter blade.
Get wrecked. It could have X-ray vision. I don't remember much of the original story, but I'll try to recollect as much as I can.
It can run 2.5 miles per second.
Before getting winded.
Yes.
And then needs to recharge for 2 seconds.
Oh my god. Like, what was it? Like, it had a 2.5 meter foot blade that came out the back or something. Yeah,
that was Teeth-mouthed, Bloody Smiler.
Yeah.
God damn. Can only be killed by its own blade or a gentle touch on the forehead.
In the 1950s, a married couple was driving through a path in the woods late at night. As they were driving, the wife claimed to have seen something moving among the trees. The husband dismissed his wife.
"You're fired." Get out of the car.
She got out of the car and left. He was no longer married.
That's how it used to be back in the day.
Yeah. The good old days.
Back before prenuptial agreements, a man could fire a woman on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
"I'm not even married to you."
Still fired.
Nor shall you be.
So it's a humanoid spider-like creature. It's not a spider itself.
Right. Like Spider-Earth, yeah.
Look, an 8-foot spider, too big. A humanoid spider creature, that makes sense.
That's reasonable.
If there was a humanoid spider, I'd want to know.
It would be 8 feet tall.
I would want to know how much Febreze I need to take care of it.
What if the suicide forest is just because there's an evil spider up in the trees that gets people by the neck?
Oh, no.
Just goes, zat.
Oh, no.
Pulls them up. Ah! You're going into the forest and you're telling people, "Listen, I am not suicidal.
I'm like just trying to find the 8-foot humanoid spider creature."
Okay, this is an issue that, but not with this story, but just in general, it's a premise that always happens whenever you have a monster like this. Let's say you have an 8-foot humanoid spider-like creature.
Mm-hmm.
I am 100% sure that it is incredibly susceptible to 22 caliber bullets.
Yeah.
And this is the issue that all the Resident Evil games have, is just like big creepy monster shows up and it's like, oh my god, it's a giant snake with a giant forehead that I'm sure I can scramble its brains with a single bullet.
Just shoot it in the eye, if it's got like tough skin or something.
Yeah, I guess at that point you have to have like really tough skin, but it's just like, even then I think, have you seen a moose?
Yes.
Like,
in real life?
Yes.
No.
They're huge.
They're monsters. They are fucking monsters. But if you shoot them, they die. They're moose corpses at that point.
I don't want to spoil anything. This isn't really a spoiler. But in the new Batman movie, The Batman, there's a scene where... And this, again, is not really a spoiler, so don't freak the fuck out, everybody. There's a scene where somebody puts a gun to Batman's head, by which I mean like his forehead, which is like, why not the mouth? It's the only unprotected part of his body. Why don't you put the gun barrel in his mouth?
This is Slimebeast logic. It's just like, put it. I want to see it I want to see his mouth get penetrated.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see his pearly white chompers.
They held a gun to his forehead and on his mouth. Ugh.
If there was a Batman, I would want to know how to kill it.
Okay, that actually legitimately sounds like something you'd see in a modern Batman movie. We have to figure out how to kill the Batman, what he wants. But, yeah, I mean, why does nobody shoot Batman in the mouth? Anyway, continue.
It's your turn.
No, it isn't.
There it is.
She was dismissed, right? Did you take 1 or 2 paragraphs?
I took, like, 3.
God damn you. Then the car suddenly stopped. The couple was confused. The husband tried to get the car to drive forward, but he couldn't. He told his wife to stay in the car, and he got out of it. So he's fired. He looks at the front tires and sees they are covered in thick webbing. Suddenly, they hear a voice. A strange, cheery voice singing, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, kills whoever a spider can.
The Itsy Bitsy spider went up the water spout, and then the couple, reasonably afraid at this point, but before they could do anything about it, the husband was yanked up from the air by an unseen force.
Is this in Japan?
Can you believe this? Why am I turning into Seinfeld?
Hey, it's like the opening of Seinfeld. Blah, blah, blah. You know, the theme song.
8-foot spiders.
He's in front of the crowd on the stage. You seen this? You seen these giant spiders? They got 8 feet tall and humanoid.
Look, I was out in the woods and I dismissed my wife, and 8-foot spiders walk out.
I dismissed Shoshana. God damn it.
You dismissed her, Jerry?
God damn it.
You can't do that, Jerry.
You can't do that, Jerry. There are 8-foot humanoid spider creatures out there. You can't do that.
Look, I did it. It's done.
8-foot humanoid spider monsters. And I just say, why don't you just shoot the fucking thing?
You dismissed the miss? I dismissed the miss. They're always doing stupid wordplay like that. What was up with that? Trying to make catchphrases catch on?
Yeah.
Fuckers.
And then I was trying to get this catchphrase to catch on. It was like, hibbity bibbity, let's do this shit.
Did you ever see, like, the late Happy Days? Like, the show Happy Days?
Don't think so.
Okay,
like, I know of it. I don't think I've seen an episode.
Happy Days was just the normal, everyday show, you know. And eventually, as the seasons wore on, in late game, it just became them trying
Their power
to spawn.
levels got too high, yeah.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
happened in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Majin
exactly.
Buu came in, it got real boring and cringy.
Super Saiyan Fonzie, I don't know. Double, draw that. But anyway.
Yeah, there you go. Super Saiyan Fonzie.
Draw Super Saiyan Fonzie powering up.
Yeah, no, it has to be Fonzie.
Yeah.
It has to be his name.
Draw him powering up, and in his word balloon is him just going, "Hey!" He's giving thumbs up.
Yeah.
Leather jacket ripping. But later on in the seasons, it became where they were just trying to make catchphrases stick. And like every episode, and there were so many fucking things that were so stupid. Like characters.
This is
just
the
going,
same show that literally jumped the shark, right? That's where that came from.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, you had episodes where characters were literally saying just like wah wah wah, you know, like fuck
Good
off.
Lord.
That literally is one of them. Wah wah wah.
One of these days, if people want us to, we need to like come prepared with a bunch of pre-made catchphrases and just throw them throughout the episode.
Come prepared with catchphrases. What? Okay.
I want slogans on T-shirts. He was yanked up into the air by some unseen force.
It's an unseen force.
Can't see it. It's unseeable. Then was slammed back down onto the car. The wife screamed, got out of the car, and ran off. There have been tons of sightings and encounters since then, all of them including the creatures singing that old song.
Okay, Zoomer. Jesus Christ. This classic old vintage song, Itsy Bitsy Spider. Jeez, fucking Jesus.
That song came out in 1995.
Exactly. Will Smith.
Haha.
Haha, Itsy Bitsy Spider. Haha.
No, so I will say this, we don't know what happens to the wife. We don't know what happens to the man. Presumably he disappears for sure. She might have.
Well, I mean, somebody had to tell the story, so.
Yeah. Somebody had to tell the story, for sure.
In the back seat was their friend Clive. That's some shit.
See, Clive had an anti-8-foot humanoid spider monkey
ring.
Rifle. Yeah, exactly. Fuck, that's what I'm saying this entire time.
An ASR. Anti-spider rifle.
An ASR 15.
Damn it.
See, that's a common misconception. ASR doesn't stand for anti-spider rifle, okay? It stands for the name of the company that makes the rifle.
Yeah, there you go.
Anti-Spider Rifles Incorporated.
Yes, exactly.
It doesn't stand for anti-spider rifle. It stands for the name of the company Anti-Spider Rifles Incorporated. That's perfect. I like that.
Okay, what's the maximum capacity on an anti-spider rifle?
1.
Like legal or
yeah, legally.
Do? Oh, legally 1. I only need 1. It's an 8-foot spider. It's pretty fucking big.
It's
fucking
venom.
Gun control Abysmii over here doesn't want us to be able to protect ourselves.
You didn't say what it should be. You asked me what it is, and these are real anti-spider rifles, and the capacity is 1.
They have 8 legs. Okay, they have 8 legs. If I shoot one of their legs, they still have 7 more legs.
You don't shoot the legs. You go for the giant thorax and abdomen and face.
Yeah, each giant spider has each giant spider has the giant axe from Thor. Yeah, exactly.
This is frustrating.
Thorax. You fucking serious?
This podcast is driving us apart.
Shut up.
The reason... Fuck.
I can't get over thorax. Shut up.
This is what breaks up the podcast, really?
It would come down to gun control.
This is dumber than Spy Girl waifus. What the fuck?
Listen.
The reason that the anti-spider rifle only has 1 bullet is because it's for you. That's the only way to escape a giant spider.
Oh, okay. Turned it around.
Right. Yeah, I turned the gun around.
Look, I believe in every American's right to have bump stocks in their anti-spider rifles.
Mm-hmm.
But if it has a maximum, makes no sense. It has a maximum capacity.
Our laws don't make sense, Brandon. I'm not in charge of that, all right?
Can I have a bump stock on my gun? Yes, but you're allowed 1 bullet. It's like, nah.
That's just how it is out here in California. You can have bump stocks, but it's only single shots.
Fuck.
Bump stocks are like nationally banned, aren't they?
Oh, probably, yeah. I'm being facetious all around.
Okay.
Oh. I thought we weren't going to do that anymore.
I thought we all were going to make up shit.
I never promised that.
I never believed in the Itsy Bitsy Spider, even as a kid, though the story was entertaining.
Since we're all going in random order, I was 17, I think. My parents forced me to join them at the family reunion.
I was 17 years old when Itsy Bitsy Spider came out. Okay, I'll have you know.
It was a banger.
I was 17, I think. My parents drove me across state lines to go to the giant spider protest. I was 17, I think. My parents forced me to join them at the family reunion, deep in that forest, just like every year. I hated going to these. They were so boring, and I barely remember anyone that was there. My parents, who the fuck are they? Other than a few uncles and aunts.
I would like to point out to everybody that my client only opened fire once the giant 8-foot humanoid spider monster approached and drew their own weapon.
Your Honor, he's admitting that his client emptied the entire clip of the ASR rifle.
God damn it. BAP. There you go. Your Honor, I want you to take into consideration, members of the jury, take into consideration that while, yes, my client did have an ASR, the S had an SR.
Oh, God damn it. This is so stupid. Mm-hmm. This is exactly why I don't like Eric Holder and Obama, the Fast and Furious thing, where they gave a bunch of spiders anti-spider rifles. A bunch of the 8-foot humanoid spider cartels got rifles from the federal government. That's just ridiculous. That's where our tax money's going.
Everyone's concerned about guns going over the border to drug cartels. No one is talking about the guns going into the deep forests of America where the spiders are being armed.
They just kind of leave crates of guns at the forest edge and then just wait for them to disappear in the morning.
They just put them at the edge of the forest, and then there's just a giant web thing that comes out and grabs the guns by the crate.
Hey, the federal government's the biggest landowner in the country, and there's just acres and acres and acres of land that no one can monitor.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Probably 8-foot spiders out there armed with Armalite rifles.
Everyone's worried about Bigfoot? Nah, I think Bigfoot's the only one really saving us from the 8-foot humanoid spiders armed with rifles.
That's
the worst thing about the spider rifles, they have a sticky trigger finger.
Heyo.
The gun's just going off in their hand in every direction. Can't let go of it.
I decided to just slip into the woods and just wander around. I don't know how far I went. I must have been far because I couldn't find the trail anymore. I was very stupid. There was something on the trees, just a strangely large amount of webbing. I looked at it puzzlingly. Puzzlingly. Ugh, tough word to say. I've never seen this much in one place before.
Puzzlingling here. The panda bear that solves puzzles.
Damn it. Why, you've solved another puzzle-based mystery, Puzzlingling. Here, have some bamboo.
Could you stop solving puzzles and maybe procreate so we don't lose all the pandas forever?
That is the... love and romance. The one puzzle I cannot solve. The female.
I'll never be able to unlock my heart.
The female. God's greatest puzzle.
The Riddler is just like a zookeeper, and he gives a panda a bunch of bamboo, and it's like, figure out how to put it into your mouth, panda-ling-ling.
I hate how easy it is to imagine the Riddler in a zookeeper outfit. It's way too easy.
It's easy to imagine anyone in a zookeeper outfit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, but like a Riddler-themed one.
Everybody down in the comments below, put your who you want to see wearing a zookeeper outfit.
Okay, Double. I guess draw the Riddler as a zookeeper. I'm sorry, Double. I don't know. Just do it.
Double, make a pinup calendar of people in zookeeper outfits.
God damn it.
One for each month.
The trees were completely covered. It didn't make sense at all. But there was also a strange large shape in the webbing. I went to take a closer look.
Okay. Strange large shape here.
Strange large shape here for standing at the foot of your bed when you're barely awake. Oh, I'm gone now.
Strange large shape here for being an 8-foot humanoid spider creature.
Mm-hmm.
I might be that. You don't have enough cones in your eyes to see that night. Your night vision awful. You need to eat more carrots. Okay.
Paid for by Bugs Bunny.
Night vision.
All right, DP, go ahead.
It was vaguely shaped like a human. I started to pull at webs. Pull at webs.
God damn it.
Ripping off large chunks of it. There it was. A withered husk of a person.
God, wait, Rudy Giuliani?
Hollow.
Oh, sorry.
That's just in upstate New York. Oh, no.
Sorry, good.
A withered husk of a person.
Oh, Rudy Giuliani?
Is that your Rudy Giuliani impression?
Listen, sweetheart, we're gonna make you president. You're gonna be president for 2 terms, maybe 3. Sure.
Its body was covered in this yellow, goopy liquid. That's when I heard it. The Itsy Bitsy spider. And both of these stories, our narrator probably dies? I don't understand that.
So, and this one just rips off Abandoned by Disney because yellow chunky blood.
Exactly.
Yellow chunky blood. Yellow chunky blood.
Blood isn't yellow, guys. I don't know if you know this.
They have jaundice.
Jaundice of the blood. Yeah.
Blood jaundice here.
Jaundice of the Blood, the less popular alternative to New Kids on the Block in the 80s.
Is it just me, or was the opening part about I'm not afraid of spiders purely there to justify someone wandering off in the woods, finding gigantic spider webs, and instead of like running the opposite direction, they're like, oh, cool, spiders.
No. What now, bitch?
Great commentary.
No. Thumps chest. What now? Puts arms out at sides. Come at me.
Puts all 8 arms out at sides.
Yeah. Double. Draw Abysmii with 8 arms, and each one of them has a different alcoholic beverage, and one of them is punching paprika.
We can't decide. You know what? Domestic violence is very mutual.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Good on you, Johnny Depp. You should have done it. You should have beat the fuck out of her.
Jesus Christ.
You know, listen, people are like, Johnny Depp didn't do it. Johnny Depp didn't do it. How'd the shit get on the bed? He literally beat the shit out of her.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Plus, they read some of his statements in court, and there was a point where he said, this is going to be the last thing Amber heard.
Whoa. To get back to the story, not really feeling this one.
It's more, I will say this, it's more like an early creepypasta, like a classic creepypasta where it sets forward an idea, and then people can run with the idea. And it's, you know, maybe it's just we're jaded by now because that's all been said and done. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. The other one had like a really cool take on an exterminator, something rather mundane. This one is, what if spiders, but big and more scary?
What if spiders butt big? Ooh. Submissive, breedable, big butt spiders.
Big butt spiders.
Ah, yes, BB. Anybody here a fan of the BBS?
I think that the first one was a much more, like, even though it's like really short, was much more of a complete story, whereas this one was kind of bare bones, and it's talking about like a local urban legend, but we're not given like enough to go on. Like, urban legends tend to have a few case scenarios, but this one really didn't.
And with urban legends, there's almost kind of like a ritual to it as well of, well, you got to go out to this part of the woods, and it typically gets sighted, at this time of night. And this one, it's just, I had to go into the woods because my family had a thing, and, I saw the spider there. And it feels like it's just missing a lot.
What if, who the fuck is that? What if you have to go to the family reunion, right? And for some reason the family is having the family reunion in the woods. Weird, creepy, stupid, strange. Why would my family do this? It's so absurd and bizarre. But then the family says, you're turning 18 this year, and it's time to introduce you to great-grandfather. And the big spider creature emerges from the darkness, and that's the end of the story.
I like that.
Sure. Yeah.
And the spider says, who's my itsy bitsy spider? Oogie boogie boo boo. Pitches his cheeks. He's like, come on, I'm 17. What the fuck?
Pitches his cheeks with all 8 of his legs.
Yeah.
You're 15 now. It's time to meet Grandpa. And then Amber Heard just comes out of the woods.
No. Oh.
I'm about to bust.
I think something strange is going on in Shitbed Woods. What the fuck?
I woke up.
Never be alone at Bedshitter Creek.
I've noticed everyone in my small town is missing fingertip.
I've noticed everybody in my town has fingertips that smell like poop poop.
God damn it. That sounds like okay, that's a short story one. Everyone in my small town has hands that smell like poop.
I woke up on my bed in the middle of the woods. I looked over, smelt something foul. I turned over the bed sheets, and there was a big fucking log. I don't think the dog made it.
Okay, double. Draw Johnny Depp pulling back his bed sheets and finding a horse head made of turds.
Like podcast over. We're done.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
Hey, it's your boy, Charlie Taffy, the busiest bussy reviewer on the internet, back with a Call of Duty iceberg video breakdown. Today we're going to be doing the COD Black Ops Discord rumor iceberg and explaining every level of this piece by piece with a little help from the COD Black Ops fandom page. But before we get into today's video, this video is sponsored by eating cereal with your shirt off. It's getting hot outside, depending on when this is released, but regardless, don't you just want to eat some cereal with your shirt off? Especially those of you with like big sweaty boobies. Just, why don't you just take off your shirt and eat some cereal with some ice cold milk right next to your boobs? Okay, it's okay if they get a little hard. That's normal. Hey, what cereal are you eating? Cocoa Puffs? Me, no. I'm not a fan, but I don't mind watching you eat them. I keep a variety at my place. Corn Flakes, Lucky Charms, Total, all kinds of cereal. Hey, this is random, but it'd be funny if you sent me pictures of you eating cereal with your shirt off, and I'd send some back, of course, I'd send some back. In fact, when you run out of cereal, I'll send you more cereal. Just let me know what your address is, and I can send you more cereal. Have you heard of the spoon nipple challenge? Well, I'll talk more about that at the end of the video, okay? Hang tight. I love you, audience member. You make me so happy. You're a ray of light in this terrible world. I hope I'm that for you too, my milky queen. Okay, end of ad read, but before we get into level 1, a little house cleaning. YouTube has been unfairly flagging my content as not suitable for minors, so if you could reach out to Team YouTube on Twitter, that would be very helpful. Charlie Taffy God Army.
Fuck me, okay.
That's Abysmii's plug for fucking him.
Fuck me.
Just jammed dick in throat.
God damn it. Jesus Christ.
Dick and throats here for...
Alright, I got one. The Northman, which is directed by Robert Eggers, who did The Lighthouse and The Witch. That's
Robert
the newest
what?
movie. Robert Eggers.
I don't think you can say that.
The eggs.
Why don't you try leaving the R off that? Come on, dude.
So you're
Robert
talking about the lighthouse?
Yeah, there you go.
The Lighthouse?
The lighthouse?
Yeah.
The dude who made The Lighthouse just released...
He built a lighthouse?
That was that was made by a woman named A24.
Oh, okay.
And 24.
And 24.
Amy 24. It's really good. I don't know. If you've ever seen his other work, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But
Would
really
you say
cool.
the guy's name was Little Jimmy Eggs?
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Little Eggs.
Nicole Eggert? Is that what you said?
Nicole Taylor Eggers
Swift.
No. Nicole Egg Swift.
Double draw Jonathan Taylor Swift. Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Taylor Swift combined. Okay, go ahead, DP. Go ahead.
You were stroking out.
Go ahead with your fucking pitch, whatever. Jesus Christ.
I got no pitch.
This was my pitch.
Mm-hmm.
This is Abysmii's pitch. He's pitching A24.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
The Slimebeast dementia
DP.
is real today.
Go ahead, DP. Come on. What'd you say? Bunny something bunnies? What was it?
Bunny something bunnies. Bunny something bunnies, yes?
Go watch the movie. That's it. Fuck.
And you said that it was called Northern Lights?
Yeah.
Friday Night Lights, starring
Polar
bunny
Express.
eggs? What? Easter's over, dude.
Secret Garden.
You're done, dude.
What is all this talk about bunnies and eggs?
I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're gonna fucking die.
Mm-hmm. All right.
We're not ending one. You're gonna.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Okay.
Great.
Okay, so I'll do a plug, I guess. I'll do a pug.
I'll do a puck.
Okay, so here's... Speaking of doing a pug, okay.